Hi everybody, it's Amy. Welcome back. So today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue with what I've been doing, which is giving you answers to the questions that I previously asked and then asking you more questions for each module that we've covered. Now, last time I gave you the questions for Module 5, which covered an introduction to the deviant offense cycle and relapse prevention. So first I'm going to give you the answers for that, and then I'm going to ask you for the questions for Module 6, which covered needs and issues. All right, so first the answers to Module 5. The first question was, and these are all true and false, the first 10. A cycle is the basis of your behavior, which refers to a pattern that repeats again and again. That is true. Question number 2. Some cycles are healthy and lead to a balanced lifestyle. That is true. Not all cycles are bad. If you exercise and you eat right and you're social and you introduce some learning and education into your life, all these things lead to a very good lifestyle. Not all cycles are bad. All right, number 3, disinhibitors are internal and external stimuli that increase personal prohibitions against engaging in sex offending. That is false. Disinhibitors actually are things that lower your inhibitions, just like it says. There are inhibitors, like your conscience, and then there are things that are disinhibitors, things that break down those inhibitions, like drugs and alcohol are disinhibitors. For some people, having too much cash on hand can be a disinhibitor because it allows you to engage in behavior that might be unhealthy for you. Number 4, an avoidance strategy is avoiding specific circumstances in which lapses may be likely. This is true. Number 5, negative feelings happen out of nowhere. False. You should know that by now. All right, number 6, an example of stimulus control is to keep all pornography in an easily accessible area. Quite the opposite. Stimulus control would be removing things that you know are harmful to you. Number 7, relapse happens unexpectedly. Again, this is false. If you understand what your precursors are, what the things are that trigger you, how you make seemingly unimportant decisions, all these things lead to a relapse, and none of them should be happening unexpectedly. All right, number 8, a lapse is an opportunity for self-management. Absolutely true. A lapse is not the same thing as a relapse, and you shouldn't beat yourself up for a lapse, but is an opportunity for you to use your coping mechanisms and do some good self-management. All right, number 9, poor communication is never a risk factor. False. Number 10, sexual aggression generally results in some form of immediate gratification for the offender called the PIG or PIG phenomenon. True. All right, number 11. Now these are going to be multiple choice or multiple guess depending on your abilities. Your deviant offense cycle is made up of the way you A, think, B, feel, C, behave or act, or D, all of the above. And it is D, all of the above. Number 12, a triggering event is A, any event likely to trigger an issue for you, B, a shootout, C, a state of psychological, emotional, or mental balance, or D, none of the above. It is A. A triggering event is any event that is likely to trigger an issue for you. Things that can also trigger you are not just events, but also people. Number 13, the most critical stage in the deviant offense cycle is A, calm, B, urge to offend, C, planning the offense, or D, the promise to reform. It is B, the urge to offend. All right, number 14, the ultimate goal of relapse prevention is to A, cure sex offending, B, enhance awareness concerning behavior, C, increase the number of responsible choices that you make, or D, B, and C. The answer is D, B, and C. A is ridiculous because there is no cure for sex offending. All right, Number 15, a set of internal or external circumstances that threaten a sex offender's self-control and thus increase the risk of a lapse or a relapse is A, a lapse, B, adaptive coping responses, C, high risk factor, or D, cognitive distortion. It is C, high risk factor. Number 16, learning about your deviant offense cycle will help you A, identify the vicious cyclical patterns of sexual offending, B, understand what the patterns mean, C, learn to break the patterns of sexual offending, or D, all of the above. Obviously, all of the above. All right, number 17, the decision to refrain from taking part in self-prohibitive behavior is A, abstinence, B, lapse, C, programmed coping response, or D, relapse. It is A, abstinence. And like I've said when we were talking about abstinence in the beginning, abstinence is not just refraining from sex. It's refraining from anything that you have made a self-prohibitive behavior, whether it's drinking, drugs, looking at pornography, eating badly, spending too much money, gambling. Any of those things are your abstinence. Whenever you say, I will not blank, whatever that I will not that you won't do, that is your abstinence. 18, a decision that seems to have little bearing on whether a lapse or a relapse will occur, but will actually allow the offender to get closer to high-risk factors that increase the probability of another offense is A, programmed coping response, B, seemingly unimportant decision, C, maladaptive coping response, or D, problem of immediate gratification. It is B, seemingly unimportant decision. 19, which of the following is not an intervention to avoid a lapse? C, A, escape strategies, B, avoidance strategies, C, buying pornography, or D, identifying offense precursors. It is C, buying pornography. That's not going to help you. All right, number 20, of the following, which is not a risk factor? A, masturbating to abusive fantasies, B, seeing people as sex objects, C, low self-esteem, or D, positive self-talk. It is D, positive self-talk. All those other things are big, giant, glaring risk factors. All right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the questions to the Module 6 test. And Module 6 is needs and issues. The first 10 will be true and false, and the following 10 will then be multiple choice. All right, number 1, true or false? Irrational beliefs support issues. Number 2, a need fulfills something necessary to sustain life, while a want is simply a desire. Number 3, an issue is an unresolved conflict. Is a resolved conflict. True or false? All right, number 4, minimization is when you underestimate the effects of behavior. Number 5, there are 7 basic needs according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Number 6, an irrational belief is based on logic and reason. Number 7, absolutistic thinking is the thought that a situation is a disaster or terrible. Number 8, issues are the result of perceived barriers preventing needs from being met appropriately. Number 9, people and things should always turn out the way I want them to. And number 10, defense mechanisms are elaborate reactions or responses to situations. All right, the next 10 are going to be multiple choice. Number 11, what is the first most elemental need? A, safety, B, self-esteem, C, physiological, or D, belongingness and love. Number 12, offering excuses for behavior is A, justification, B, denial, C, minimization, or D, withdrawal. Number 13, the thought that a situation should or ought to be a certain way is A, absolutistic, B, rational, C, catastrophic, or D, none of the above. All right, number 14. The following irrational belief: if I don't go to great lengths to please others, they will abandon or reject me, is a result of A, fairness, B, fear of failure, C, past conditions, or D, fear of rejection. Number 15, the following irrational belief: things outside me cause me unhappiness, and I have little or no ability to control my sorrow or disturbance, is a result of A, fear of failure, B, I am not responsible, C, detachment, or D, none of the above. 16, reverting to childlike behavior is A, repression, B, displacement, C, regression, or D, withdrawal. 17, as identified by Erikson, what is the first stage of development? A, initiative versus guilt, B, industry versus inferiority, C, ego integrity versus despair, or D, basic trust versus basic mistrust. Number 18, of the following, which one of Erikson's stages of development deals with looking back over your life and reflecting? A, ego integrity versus despair, B, intimacy versus isolation, C, identity versus role confusion, or D, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Number 19, self-respect, respect of others, achievement, attention, and appreciation are characteristics of the need for A, belongingness and love, C, self-actualization, C, self-esteem, or D, safety. And the last one, number 20, an issue common to many sex offenders is A, power, B, control, C, trust, or D, all of the above. All right, so next time I will give you the answers to the needs and issues module, and then I will ask you the questions for the following module, which I believe is healthy sexuality. Now, if you need to, go over the videos for these so you can answer these questions. All right? Now, until next time, please subscribe to this channel. Feel free to get in touch with me through this channel or through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. And share these videos with someone who you think they can help. And until next time, be well.